Hello, beautiful, curious, and creatives. Welcome. I am here today to share with you a process video of how I put this large journaling card or journal topper together. This was a challenge over a Junkers Craft Co-op, and I was challenged to make a version of this composition, which is the inspiration piece. And so this is what I came up with, and this is what I'm going to share with you today. So I've gathered some materials other than the basic, scissors and cutters and maybe distress ink pads that I have within reach. So I haven't pulled that out, but I've pulled other things that are not so, they're not in my general work area, so to speak. So I would have them at the ready to work with. So I am going to, I put everything on this tray from my cart, and I am going to leave it here, but I'm going to move it to the table next to me. But let me just go through what I have here. So I'm going to slide this down, and because you do get a little bit of a glare from the lamp up above, I'm going to put the inspiration piece here, and that'll block that while I go through what's on the tray. So a lot of, or the first thing that I see when I look at this is numbers and some letters. And that thrills me because I love numbers. I love numbers on my makes. I don't love numbers in everyday life. Let me just clarify that. So I have pulled out some labels and some tags that I have, and things like that. And then I have also pulled out some number tags as well. So what I see on this paper, okay? So the idea is not to, and there's other ones in there as well. When Beth was here, she cranked a lot of these. Those are the negatives of some number pieces, and more numbers in different shapes. Okay, so the idea is not to duplicate it, the idea is to use it as inspiration to make your own version of it. Okay, and that's what I am going to try to do. So let me move this up a little bit so you can see this better. With that said, I also very last minute included, I'm going to take this out of the, sorry, I should have done that before. That's the benefit in preparing ahead of time, that you don't have to do this. So pardon the noise. This very sweet stamp set that Lisa also sent me. And I will see if I can incorporate that into the piece. So stamps, this stamp, without this silicone stamp of a butterfly, I may use that. I use this a lot, so I pulled it out. Some Tim Holtz stamps and number stamps, and this is really screaming Tim Holtz. And oh, this is where the stamp goes, the one that won't stick. I took that out of, oh, I guess because of these numbers and maybe this here. We'll see. I took this out because this is one of those rub-ons, and I may use the number 5 for this tag here. I don't know. So these are papers. Let me just get to this first. Wait. This, I'm not doing this in any particular order, so we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants here. This is a die that I have that I'm going to use to make this slide here, this pocket. This is, I would almost say that that's the focal point of this make. So I am going to duplicate this, the slide die. I am going to use that. And this is the one that I have. It's not exactly this one, but it will do. These are some background papers that I have that I thought I would use. I don't know. It felt like a good idea to pull them, so I did. I am going to talk to you about my substrate, which is an important part of, you know, something when you're creating. I believe that this is a piece of paper that has Tim Holtz paper that has those numbers in the background. Not this, but this is part of that piece of paper. And I believe that once upon a time I had it, but I don't. And so I'm going to need to make something similar to that. So I pulled out, this is a Tim Holtz backdrop. I don't know which one it is, but it kind of gave me that grungy feeling, that the color that I think I'm going to, you know, be going for. It's also very similar to this, and that's one of the things that is attractive to me about this is the palette, because I tend to go for this. This is my palette right here. So, but this is going to need some dressing up to give it the background that this has. And that background is important because it ties into the number theme of this composition, I feel, right? So this is just my vision and what I see as a maker when I look at this. So to achieve that, I'm going to have to add some layers to this. And this is something, if you saw my weekend mix-up last week, I used this to make some washi tape. And I had it laying around on my table because up until an hour ago, my 3 tables were a disaster. So I think I may add it onto this on the edge. I don't know, but just to build this background to give it some number and a little more character. So I thought I would use this. I have this collage sheet from Tim Holtz also that I recently got. And I have this collage sheet from Tim Holtz also. And I am definitely going to be using a little bit of that. So that is that. The other day I was preparing some papers, and I was doing so well up until cleanup time. And I made these background papers. I was also, okay, I had a lapse of memory there for a minute. I was also prepping some papers for our swap for the mini black and white book. And so I was playing with black ink, and I had put the little container of black ink and water on top of something, and everything was fine. I didn't even get ink in my hands, nothing. And when I went to clean up, I grabbed that and I forgot the little cup of paint was on top of it, and so it splashed everywhere. And it splashed on my papers. So if not today for this, I will use it another time. And so these were the colors that I thought would kind of, you know, resemble that. And then I pulled this out. This is the collage medium. I've never used this brush, and I think I've used this one, so I may not even know how to use it, but I thought I would use this to collage whatever I want to collage from here to my substrate. And then I also pulled out some Distress oxide sprays because whether I stamp my own number tags or use the ones that are here that I've pulled out, I will distress them. And so I may want to dip them into a little oxide and water mix, or use an ink pad. I'm not sure yet. And I did shake them, so they're well mixed and they're ready to go. Oh, and this is another one that I pulled out. And this one I didn't shake. It doesn't look like, oh, I did shake it. Nope. I think I need to shake it a little more. So here I also pulled out some hardware for, I don't have a clock like this or even a watch face. So I looked through my stash and these are the things that I have. I love this tag, but you know, this is something that could be mounted like this. That number, I have a little wooden dangle number, or this face, and maybe it could be mounted on that or on something else or whatever. But these are the options that I thought were good for that. I also pulled this milk bottle cap, and I don't know, maybe that's good for something. And then these three things actually for me are options for this piece here, right? For this dangle here. This looks like, I don't know, maybe a button. Oh, I have buttons that look like that. Okay, well, maybe. Okay, so those are the options for that part of the inspiration. I have here sleds and some brads that are used here. I have, last thing I pulled out was a little twine cord, I don't know. And this is a little bit of leather. Here it looks like something is wrapped around that one tag. And so I may just do like a double wrap with this thinner cord. Okay, I may use something else. I may not use these at all or together. I don't know. We're gonna see. I think I'm in the general area. And so I'm not sure where I'm gonna start. So I'm gonna move this to my side table here so I can have my table to work on. And I am thinking, clearly I have to cut I say crank, but I know that's not the correct term. Use the Big Shot to get this. But I also want to collage this. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to do this first. And while this is setting, I'm going to die cut my slide. Does that sound like a good plan? So let me move this over. And, oh, this is another little piece of pattern paper. So, you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to tape this so you can always see it, and yeah, and it covers the glare from the lamp. So, pardon the reach again. Okay. So, you see it, I see it, and we can get going on it. Okay, so I think this is, I don't know. I think this is just like Mod Podge, let's just say. So, that's how I'm going to use it. I really do love this. I'm going to go with this. I may actually want to put that here. Now I want to use some of this down here. Oh, and that you're not seeing so well. Okay. I want to use some of this down here. And let me put this down first and then see what else. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. And I think this is a little goopy. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or it's just old, but whatever it is, we're gonna try. I really should have, jeez. I should have tried to use this before to make sure that it was good, no? But, oh, that's just how we roll. Okay, so. Okay, I'm assuming it'll go a little dark. Okay, perfect. So I see some papers. I see papers. I see some numbers. I am going to put this part up here like we said. Was it like this? I don't know. Was it like this? Let's go for that. I decided I'm gonna cover everything with the collage paper and or the pattern paper, just in case there's openings in the layout, that the background is consistent. I don't know. I just feel that that would be good, and so I'm gonna go with that. I'm tearing the edges of the paper before I lay it down, so it looks a little more organic, a little patchier. My substrate is covered. It's a little wet, so I'm going to let it finish drying naturally while I run the die cut through the Big Shot. I'm trying to decide which of these two I want to use for the die cut. And I think I'm going to go with this one. I have limited space to use here, but I think I would like if some of this is part of my cut. So let's see how that goes. I cut my slide. And I want to see what it looks like. Let's see. I'm only going to use this half. Oh, I'm happy with that. It did pick up some of the marks of the paper, right? So I'm happy with that. Excellent. I want to clean up those edges now, and I think I am going to try to do a mock layout of what I want my project to look like. So let me clean up these edges and do a mock layout. Looking at this, I'm thinking I don't mind the color or the shade. For me, it is perfect. But I'm thinking I want to see if I can brighten it up here somewhere, just to kind of pick up on this and this. And I thought about using the carved pumpkin oxide mixed with a little water. And the way I go about doing that, no judgment please, is by just spraying a little bit. My water bottle did not want to be found for some reason. So I went to Plan B, put a little water in this little spray bottle, and I am going to just mix this up a little bit. I want this area here, so that's just what I'm going to do. And just kind of play with that. I may also want to do some on this side and maybe some up on top just to use this up. I'm happy with that. So just to blend it in a little more. I'm happy with those results. I want to add a little cracked pistachio to it. I sprayed a little on the block. There was still some of the previous color, the carved pumpkin on it, and that's fine. Doesn't matter to me. Just add a little water, give it a little mix like this. And I think I want to go somewhere up here. Now I'm doing this very blindly, and that's okay. And so I'm going to, spread it a little bit. Spread the joy. You know what? I'm going to get daring and just let it drip. This was the other way that I was mentioning that you could do it. I'm sure there's 10 other ways that you can do this. But okay. Let me put this here. I'm going to spread this a little bit. And you guessed it, I'm gonna help it dry with the heat tool. So I decided to spray a little on the edge here. So I went directly with the spray bottle. Sometimes my spraying is not that great, so I shy from doing it directly on my substrate, and I go for the block instead. But I got a little daring just because I wanted to do the edge here, and that's why this looks like this. So I am going to continue to dry it, but I wanted to mention that as I dry it, I pat it a little bit. When I see that it's almost dry, I will just pat it. Because I know that the color has already set into the substrate. This is not ready to be patted yet, in my opinion. So I am going to, let me see if I can show you how it's still a little, see how it's still a little too wet for my liking. So I'm gonna put the heat tool on it a little more, and then I will pat it. And when I pat it, it may even just spread the ink or the color a little further. I am very happy with these results. It's brightening up the area. It's giving it a little depth. But I want to go in with one more color. And it's because I see them here and I find them interesting. They're not going to be part of my palette, but just for a little pop of something that's not on here, I think it would be good. So I am probably going to do that. I don't know. If I do it right on the substrate and it gets messed up, then I'm going to be very upset. So I'm all about playing it safe this time because, well, you know, for obvious reasons. So let me spray a little here, and then we may just let it drip from the block onto our work. Okay. So I'm just going to okay, here's the blue, and I'm just going to let it splash, like maybe here, or not splash, maybe I'll just guide it a little bit. And maybe I'll do some here, and I don't know. Let's just do some here. I'm not really sure where things are going to be, so I'm really just doing this blindly at this point. You know, I'm assuming that maybe this is going to be here somewhere, and there'll be other things there, so, you know, that's just how we're gonna roll. Okay, so I'm actually going to just dab this because I don't want it to be so shocking, and I really just wanted a touch of it, not for it to be too overpowering on my make. So I'm happy with this. This is, you know, I may even tone this down a little bit. Let me dry this with the heat tool because I just had another idea of something I may want to do, but I need to dry this, and I really want to do that mock layout before I have any ideas or I execute any more of my ideas right now. I am going to line this with some beautiful paper when I'm done, and the finished project will be going to Lisa, who was the one who challenged me to make it. So but I do want to keep it in, you know, as good condition as I can. Let's do a mock layout. So this will go here somewhere. I have these tags, so we can put a big tag, but see, my slide die cut is smaller than this one. So, or it may be the same size, but this card may be too big. That could be it. Let's just spill this on the table. Okay, so maybe we have this, and maybe we have, oh, I think I had the right idea maybe with this big one in here. Maybe what I'll do is I'll cut it. Okay, so, oh, but it's not gonna fit because I'm going to put brads in there. Oh no, it'll fit because the brads don't have to go through the other side. Or do they? No, they don't. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna fix that. Okay, so this will go in here. We'll have a couple of tags or something hanging from here, right? Then here we have something that can look like a piece of paper that we have dyed, or maybe one of these. I'm not loving that. Let me put this to the side. I think this is an option. I think this is also an option. I'm gonna put this here for size right now. Just for size. This can go here. And then there's a wraparound. I think for this, I'm gonna use a piece of paper that I prepared as well. But for size, this looks good. And then this one would be a little longer. Or a little wider rather, because I wanted to cut into this one. And then I want to use this as a wraparound, which would be kind of this one here. I would prefer it like this, but that doesn't work. So we'll leave it like that. Let's leave it like that. Okay. And so I want to cut this piece and I want to cut this piece. So let me do that now. So I replaced those two pieces with these. And I am thinking that that is good. So I like the size. This is supposed to kind of, you know, go up a little higher. This will have here that wraparound piece that may be actually that one. And this here, I think it needs to be a little taller. Not taller like this, but actually connecting to this one. So I'm gonna cut another piece. But before I do that, let me just see what numbers I would like to, or what little labels I would like to put on here, because that may be a game changer. Let me see what I have here. Too small, too big. I kind of like these numbers, but I'm not loving them on this background. So this needs to be a little darker. Let me see what I can pull from what I made. Let's see if this one works. The color is not perfect, but the size may be a little better. And okay, so now I'm thinking it needs to be a little shorter. So let's trim. Okay. So I think this is good. But we did say the color is not right. And that's fine because we can change that, right? I just want to put some numbers on there for size. And I think I'm liking these three. So I want to say these are going to be it. But I need to work on the color of this, distress a little bit. of this, distress this for sure. And then we're gonna work on this. So I know that I like that. So keeping this in mind, I want to go back to what I did before. I already have the colors that I used, so I want to stick to that. Spray a little bit of this one. I am going to, and this is the cracked pistachio. I am going to dilute it with a little water, and actually, let me just dab here like this. Try to get those edges. I think I got a good amount on this one. I'm gonna let it sit for a minute, and then I want to work on this one also and see how I can blindly just add some on. I love it. I am going to take some of this off because I just wanted to give it a little touch up and kind of tie it in. But I do want the brightness of this to remain, the bright color of this. So I think for this is good. This one I want to work on a little more, and I think I'm going to go in with the Salty Ocean one, the blue. I said that I didn't want blue to, you know, to dominate, but I think it may get me the color that I'm looking for in terms of toning this background or fading this, you know, this brown dark background. So this is still wet. I don't want to make mud, but I'm going to let them mix together and see what happens. Or, you know, a little bit if they need to touch somewhere along the way. Okay. There's quite a bit of blue on here, and I am okay with that, but I'm going to dab it off a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with a darker color. And I do have my walnut stain here. I'm going to give it a mix, and then I'm going to let it go over the blue so the blue is in the background. So here it is, and this is why I don't spray on my substrate, because I will spray what I want and what I don't want. So that's why. Okay. So let me just spread this a little bit. I don't want to glob when I put my paper down. But I do want some. So I'm going to just pick up ink with abandonment. And I'm going to say that this is pretty good. So I picked up some of this, I darkened this, I gave this a good contrast, and I'm happy with that. I really am. So now I want to distress my edges. I want to distress these edges. And I want to distress these that I think I'm gonna use for my slide. So I have some of this left here. I'm just gonna dip, ooh, and pick up and not be sorry. Nope, I am not gonna be sorry. These are like one of the handiest tools that I own, these little tweezers. What else do I want to distress? Give this a little, you know what? I'm gonna do the edges of this. Even though I'm going to distress them with ink, but I don't know. that's here, and right? Why not? Okay, so I'm gonna help these things a little bit with the heat tool, and then I am going to distress those edges, and we're going to continue with our layout. While I was distressing, I found this label in my stash of things that we had taken out before, and so I trimmed it. I distressed it also because I think I want to use that as some kind of a layer. Excuse me. And maybe even do something like this, or maybe not. Anyway, the finishing touches are not important. So I want to use that for that, and possibly this one for here. And I think I'm getting sidetracked. Sorry about the ink on my fingers. Okay. We continue to want this down here, although I didn't distress this. So this will go like this. These are, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to glue this piece because I'm 90% certain that I want it there, and I don't want to keep touching it. Oh, I need to round this corner also. I rounded the corners, but I didn't round the top two corners. So let me do that, and that one I did with this tool. Okay. And let's just distress. Okay. And I do want this here, so I'm just gonna go for it, okay? I'm going to just commit. And if I decide I don't want it there, well then I'll have, oh no, I'll have to look for something else. So we're thinking here and here, and we are thinking this will go here, and this will have some kind of wraparound. I thought I had a tag here. Oh, was it this one? This tag here, I wanted it to kind of wrap around like this. Oh, sorry, I'm not even, sorry. I wanted this tag to kind of wrap around, and I'm still not in frame, to wrap around like this. And maybe even just kind of like hang off a little bit, because you know how I love to add a little dangle or something on there. So I may just add my own little touch of something. So I'm going to say this is going to stay like that. These are going to go here. And we need to work on this. So this was going to go up here. And these were going to be the numbers that go on here. I did distress these edges. So I love the way that looks. I like that contrast. That's great. I am struggling with something though. Let's find what's gonna go on here. Well, actually, let me leave this here because I need to see how everything looks together. And I'm gonna tell you what I'm struggling with in 1 minute. This is not completely dry, I don't think. I'm really gonna try to pull from what I have here. How about that? I'm struggling with this area right here. It's looking very blue, and I knew I did not want so much blue. So I think I need to put something back here, and that may very well be this, because I'm struggling with all that in the background, all that darkness in the background. So I'm gonna say I want that here, and we'll see. Because there is another option of something, but I don't want to go there because when I do work with that, I get very carried away, and it does not resemble what I want. So I think I want to have something. Okay. So we still need, you know, the stuff that's going to go in these pockets. Something's going to go in here. Although I think the pocket is this one, but since I'm the one who's making this, I like this to be this pocket or this sticking from here, and maybe we'll add something else. I don't know. This is also a pocket. We'll put stuff in there. This may very well just be background. I am not sure. These are going to be 2 tags that we're going to hang from here. Something like that, right? And this is going to be a little lower here. And this is going to be here. I think I may actually just cut here to have this be an open space, but I'm not sure yet. So these will be 2 hanging tags here that are not finished, but we're just positioning, right? They'll go a little lower because they will be hanging. Also, maybe I don't need to cut there. This will go here, and then we will have something here. I don't know what it is going to be, and I may very well just make it too many colors. Okay, you know what I need to do? I need to distress these things that are not distressed, so I can see what everything looks like, and then I can continue to add what is going to go here. So let me do that. I'm probably going to do a little bit of this with the brown and the walnut stain, and definitely the edges. And this this is going to stay like this, but I am going to distress the edges for this one. And these edges and a little staining, and these edges and a little staining, and these 3 pieces here, okay? And we'll see what it looks like. I've inked and added just a little dab of blue here just to break this up some, because this is going to go here. And I said this was going to be kind of like a tuck or a pocket here, and I want to put something else, so I pulled this from the stuff here, and we're going to put that there. So I just want to distress the edges of this very quickly, and everything else that I said I was going to ink and or distress I have already. Okay, so now I think we are ready for the brads, at least. Okay, so let me put the brads, or do I not want to do that? Let me put the eyelets on this first. Let me put these eyelets on first. These 3 here. And I think that in theory, this one would have needed one, which is here, but I don't think it's going to look like that. I kind of like this because it was, I mean, it's upside down, that kind of shape, but I thought maybe that would be a good shape. I mean, maybe it's still a good shape for that. And this can go on here. Oh, I think I like that. Well then, I think I like that a lot. So, Guys, I don't know how to layer. I mean, I do not know how to layer. I don't think I like that. I think I like this here. But I actually do like that here. And this was going to be sticking out some. So I don't know what happened to that plan. Okay, let me put the eyelets on this. Let me put the eyelets on this because this is a little flippy floppy down here, and I want it settled a little bit. I'm gonna put the eyelets on this, and on this, and then I am going to also put the brats on just the slide because I want to close this, and I want this to kind of not be so flippy floppy right now. Okay, so let me do that. Set it with my Crop-A-Dile, and there you go. And these already have the holes, so this is too, I am going to distress this a little bit because when you pull the tag out, you see it, and I don't want that to be what you see. So now I have mud, but I'm gonna clean that up, and then I'll just have a little bit of a background like that. And okay, so let me help this with the heat tool, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here it is. I am going to put the little brads in through the front, but I'm not going to do it through the back. So I am going to give this a little glue at the bottom because it is serving as a pocket. A little glue at the bottom, and I'm just gonna run a little bit along the side. Okay, and hold it for a second or two. So I think this is glued well enough. I'm just gonna distress over here a little bit more. So this will go here if it fits, and it may not. Okay. So we need to rethink this tag for here. Or we do not. Huh. Okay. Beautiful. We don't. So that will go here. And this will go hanging from there. And this will go hanging from there. And that will be that. I am going to put something on here. Just because I don't want that to look like that. Open like that. Maybe this will find a place here. Oh, okay. I think I like that. Let me just glue this on. Oh, let me distress it, and then I'm gonna glue it on down there. And this will camouflage, you know, this open space here with this little bar here that may not make it. I like that. I like that there. And I'm confident that it'll stay. Beautiful. Okay. And now I think I would like to, nothing staying up. I think I would like to put the brads on here. Okay, so let me do that, and I'll be right back. Well, actually, no, I'm staying because I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna do it with the Crop-A-Dile also, okay? So I want them to kind of be, this was the middle number, but it doesn't go across, but okay. So I want them to kind of be the same. Oh my God, you guys, I am like such a willy-nilly type of person. But for your sake, I'm going to try to do a little measuring. A little mock measuring. How about that? So that's not what I want. So it's here, and I'm gonna go like right about, oh, I don't know, like here. Okay, that looks right. Okay, so here is, oh, perfect. I doubt that it's perfect, but it looks good to me. So I'm gonna go with this brad. And I am going to go with this brad. I probably should have put the numbers first, but that's okay. And this will look something like this. On here, number, number, number. And I'm gonna stand up and see how that's looking. Okay. I think I'm okay with that. So I'm not going to glue these numbers yet. Not for any particular reason, but, oh, maybe I want a lighter number. Or like a lighter background here. This is still bothering me, but I know this is gonna go here. No. Okay. Nope. Big mistake standing up. Big mistake. This is the one that we wanted, right? Originally. Okay. Let me mount it. Let me mount it and make it a little longer. And I'll tell you how much I love it. Okay. That looks good, and I think I'm gonna go with that. So I'm going to just take a minute to glue that, and I am going to tuck it under the brads a little bit, and I'll be right back. And I'm very happy with it. Okay, so this will go here, and I think I like to work on this piece now, try to finish it up as much as we can. I would like to make this a pocket, but this not necessarily a pocket. I do want this hanging off a little bit like that. And I think I want this like this. And I would like something light in color. No, maybe I'll save that for here. No, maybe I don't want something light in color. You know what? Let me just commit this. Let me commit this. about this here? I think I like this here. I'm going to distress the edges very lightly. And I am going to commit it. Okay, I think this is how I would like this to look. So without attaching this to this, I am just going to commit this to this and these two pieces to this. The part that I bent in the back, I don't want to attach yet. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Actually, we can just attach this to this piece also. Let me just do this. Okay. Because this part here, after I cover the back part, I want this part to show back here. I'm not going to leave this like this. I'm going to reinforce it. So, but I want this part to show. So I only want these to be, for now. And then when I glue this part, I'm not gluing or cutting this piece off. Okay? So I think this is looking like it's going to go. This will go here, and we will do something with it. There may be too much. There are other things that should go here. For instance, this little ensemble here. So it looks like maybe a pocket and some numbers. So you know what? I am going to probably stamp that. But this is still looking very, very dark here and too blue. So I'm gonna do what I didn't want to do before, but I'm gonna do it. I'm going to take a little bit of gesso and apply it very loosely back there, and hope I don't regret it, because every time I use gesso, I tend to be a little heavy-handed with it. So let's just say I want to do some here. I mean, look at this. This is what happens when I use gesso. It's not for TV, for sure. So okay. Let's stick to that. No, we said no to this. Let's see if we can use this piece of paper back here, or would that be too bright? No, too similar to that, so I'm gonna say no to this. We may make a tag out of that a little later. I need to think about this for a minute. I need to think about what kind of pocket or something is going to go here. I mean, this actually could be a pocket, right? This in itself could be a pocket. And maybe it will. Maybe this will be a pocket. This will be the pocket, rather. Sorry. I forget that we have hardware that's going to go here. So why don't I move this down and see what else I can put on here as whatever. I mean, I love my threes, but that might just be too many threes. I like that. I like that. I don't love this. But that can easily be fixed. You know what, actually, I think I'm gonna, no, I'm not. I was gonna say I'm gonna sand the whole thing, but I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so I'm gonna use this as my pocket. This card. And this will be the numbers that are coming, kind of this idea here. And then I'm going to put ephemera in here, and I am going to put ephemera in here. And I don't think this is going to be a pocket here, but this may be a little pocket. I'm still undecided on that because I didn't close it. Did I? Let's see. Nope. So this could be a little pocket here. And I am going to then figure out, let me make some ephemera for this pocket here, this little tuck here, or decide what I'm going to use from what I took out. And here, I may end up making a little tag here myself. And then we're going to come back and work on the hardware. But let me distress this edge and put this, sorry, put this where it belongs, fix it in place, and decide what's gonna go in here, and I'll be back. I'll tell you what I did. I pulled out this little label. Oh, okay. It's still a little wet actually. I distressed it and I decided it's going to go here. I decided this piece of the measuring tape is going to go here. I distressed that also. I picked out these two pieces of ephemera, distressed the edges, and decided that we'll go here. I picked out these 4 pieces of ephemera. This has a little hole, so I distressed all but this one because I really wasn't sure because it's long and we still have the hardware. So let me distress it anyway because we may use it. And I decided that these are going to go here, and I still need one more because that's 4 and I like 5, and I don't know. I think this is going to go here actually. I just decided. I like 5, so this is not good right now. Oh, yes. Okay. I actually pulled these out of my stash just now because I needed something a little wider and a little taller than what I had picked out originally. So I put these with the other ones. Okay, so this will go here. Now I have 5 pieces in this pocket. I'm happy with that. And then I decided that these 2 numbers are going to go here, like so. And then you saw me pick out this label that says copyright 1895. And I am going to put that on that corner or here somewhere, and that'll be that. So I think this is done. The only thing that is missing is the hardware piece here. And I think I need to commit some of these in order to know what kind of space I'm working with. So I would like to do that now. I am going to start gluing, okay? At least the pockets, clearly this doesn't get glued, but everything else I want to set in place. So let me do that and I will be back. I've glued everything and put it where it should go. So I glued this part here, and this is the only loose piece of ephemera that we have here for now that's in there. I glued this pocket, and these are the 2 pieces of ephemera that we have for it right now, and that's where they are. I glued the slide frame, and the tag is in there. This we had glued already, and these are the 2 loose tags that will be hanging from it, and they go there. And then I glued this number 1 where we had wanted it on this tag. I glued this pocket. These are the 5 pieces of ephemera that go in it. And I also put an eyelet in this tall tag that we placed here as the 5th one. Okay, and then I glued the 2 numbers and this copyright label. So as far as I see, there were 2 touches that, well, there's a couple of things that it needs. Clearly, we need to hang these tags and put the twine and the rope on it. We need to place the hardware. And I also had wanted to do some edging, some stamping. For instance, here, this is too clean for me. So I had wanted to use that little messy stamp. Okay. This one, it's kind of like just to give the edges a little something. Ideally, poor planning on my part, ideally this should have been done before, but I can still do it now. I just don't want to get it off the area that I want to stamp. So I am going to do that carefully. So just a little bit on the edge here. So I'm not going to stamp everything, right? And actually I'm going to do it with a block. I'm not going to stamp everything. So I'm just going to put my ink where I want it. On the edge there. And I'm going to kind of use this so I don't go off into something else. Right, I just want it to look like that here and there, so I'm just gonna do that randomly. I hope you can see it. Just some marks. I feel like I'm living on the edge doing this after my project is glued, but you know, what can I tell you? So the same here. Okay. I want to do some here. I want to do some here. Oh, that's tough because the thingy is there. The brad, the thingy. I want to do some here in this area. Oh, you guys, don't craft like this because this is like the worst. Last minute, you know, I have to pull this out. Last minute thoughts after, you know, your hardware is in and everything else. It's not ideal. Because it's very easy. It's very hard to do. It's very easy to forget, but it's very hard to do after the fact. So you get the idea. I just want it to look a little... I don't know, a little something that it's not. I say okay, but I keep stamping, so it's not okay yet. Okay. But not really. Okay. Maybe now it's good. No, not yet. Okay. Well, one more. Oh, I hope this is not the one I regret. No, seriously. No, wait, one more here. And then here. Because that's going on the other side. Now I'm really done because I'm going to be annoyed. Oh, I didn't do these two. I'm going to be annoyed when I mess it up. Where's my other... Oh, here. Okay. I did want to do these. So sorry. Okay. If I keep going, I'm going to be mad because I'm going to mess it up, so I'm going to stop. I am going to exercise self-control. Okay. So I am going to now, I actually washed my hands before and no one knows. I am going to, I think I'm going to stamp that butterfly here. And then let me stamp the butterfly here. Well, this is how the butterfly came out. It's a little faint, but I'm okay with it. So now I am going to attach or tie all the twine and the rope and whatever it is that this and this, okay, to the tags, the little holes, okay? And I'll be back. So all the tags have the twine or the rope attached. So these two are attached to this one, just like here. And then these have a little bit of twine on them, and then there was just the one here on the corner. I think I like this better like this. So now I think we have just 2 things to do. Well, maybe 3. One of them is attaching a little bit of hardware. And remember I said that I had taken this piece of leather. It could probably go on here, but I think this would be too much. I'm not loving that. But I think it would really look great here, where the butterfly is, up here. So I'm going to, and of course, poor planning on my part, I am going to just kind of secure it in the back and wrap it. Let me see if this is something that I would like to see. I think it is. And then I am going to, I don't know, staple it or tape it or something back here. And, or maybe tie it. Or no, or maybe I'm just gonna tie it in the front. Huh, okay. You see how things change all the time? I think this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to, for sure, have a glass of wine when I'm done with this, or 2. But for now, I think I am going to just tie this here. I hope you guys can see. Oh, you can, good. I am going to tie this here, and then I am going to tie it here. And I need my little tweezers for this because, yeah. Oh, guys, I love this. I really, really love this. And I'm not sure how my tags go. Do they go like this? Okay. I really love that. This is what I call maker's choice. And, well, I'm the maker and it's my choice. And that's how that's gonna go. But I'm not going to leave it at that. I did not forget that we still have to put the hardware here. I mean, well, this hardware or something like that here. And I feel like I'm delirious now. And I had something thinking, I had pulled some things out thinking that I was going to hang something from, you know, use this idea. And I think this is a button, but I don't want to use a button. I really wish I could hear what you're saying because I really like that, but I really like this also. I really like that. And I really like that. Okay, so let's not make any hasty decisions. Okay, so I just noticed that this is a 1 and this is a 1, so that's going to cancel this one out, and I'm going to go for that one. As simple as that. I mean, I may change my mind, but I'm just saying. I think that's how we're gonna play it. I hate to give up this beautiful tag. But I think this looks beautiful on it like that, and I would be remiss if I did not do that. So I'm going to put a little brad in there, and I will be right back with almost the finished project. Here is the completed version of the inspiration piece. The hardware is drying. I used the tiny attacher to attach this because I didn't want to retie it. And so it's attached with the tiny attacher. I didn't want to retie it because it wasn't enough to do a knot. So as you can see, it is done. I backed it, then I glued this little tab here. I placed an eyelet here just for interest. I may hang something on that, put a little dangle on it, I'm not sure yet. I also added a couple of eyelets here, as you can see, and a couple of eyelets here for interest. And I am so happy with it. And I had so much fun making this. I hope I inspired you in some way to create your own version of this. And if you do, I would love to be tagged because I would love to see it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you are doing well, that you are healthy, that you are safe, that you are thriving, that you're able to have some creative time. And I thank you again for being here with me. I love you so much, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye, guys.